Well, hello, friends and everyone. We're on the Hop River Trail today, walking from Manchester to Manchester by way of Vernon and Bolton, which home is about 13 miles that away. So we have 5.5 hours to make it before daylight, or dark rather, and boom, there we go. So back in the day, the robber barons needed trains to haul their shit from place to place. So they had all these railroads. They went crisscross the whole state of Connecticut and most of New England, in fact, and the whole country. However, up here in Connecticut anyway, and nationally I think, all these railroads, the railroad tracks and the ties are being all ripped up and recycled. The rail beds are being turned into all these nice trails, and Connecticut has a wealth of these trails. And the one I'm on now used to be a railway that circled around outside Manchester and helped the silk barons move their shit from place to place. The great thing about these rail trails is they're flat and there's no more than a 3-degree grade. So sometimes you don't want to scramble over obstacles. You just want to walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. And these are great for that because, yeah, look at that long, wide, flat thing. It's lovely. Right now we're on the edge of Vernon. You can hear Highway 84 in the background. And normally I don't like to hear road sounds, but we're going to be moving away from those real quick as this trail does go through some wildlife management areas and a state park and a town park. So that's great. Maybe we'll see you up the trail there. Haha. Yeah, there's the old railroad ties there. So the old track bed runs off into the hills. Now you can hear the sounds of the highway. It's down there. And backing around. Yeah, these rail trails are lovely. You can just walk and walk and walk. I should have brought that gimbal. And hey, we arrived at a place where I had been before and had ridden a bike that way. Broke a couple of ribs right there in that parking lot, in fact. That was when I decided biking just was not for me. This is one of the things that I don't like about rail trails. They're always populated. You have to pay for that flat and easy. Why? The presence of human beings. And there, see, they left a little piece of the rail track there for us to look at. Kind of like life sometimes. Short, doesn't actually go anywhere. Rail trails, they also got viaducts. Basically, they go from high place to high place. So, like when you're normally hiking, you could step off trail and find a nice tree to take a piss. Yeah, not so much. That's a problem. So yeah, we got this nice drop off down here on the left. This is one of the reasons that riding a bike through this for me wasn't really a good idea, because of the likelihood that my blind ass would end up, down there somewhere. And that's probably not a good idea. So I'm doing more of show and tell here in this part. And the last 4 miles, who wants to look at people's backyards and listen to traffic? But now we're going into some parky areas and some little bit of wilderness. Not much, but about the next couple of miles we'll see a lot more of really this. This is Connecticut. It's what it looks like in winter when there's not snow all over the place. Hoi! So I've rounded the bend and now I'm moving in towards Valley Falls Park in Vernon. The sun came out for just a little bit, and the thing that I've noticed about all rail trails is that when you get about 1 mile to 1.5 miles away from the major parking areas, the people pretty much disappear. And this is true whether you're here or on the airline trail or any other rail trails that I've found. So it's still pretty populated, and far more populated than I really like things to be. But it's a nice, easy walk. See, there's someone coming there. Alrighty. Okay, bye. Yeah, check that out. How awesome is that? Can still hear road sounds, and I believe that is Valley Falls Road out that way, and that is where we're heading into, is Valley Falls Park, which is a town park in Vernon, which has a lot of really awesome trails. So there you go as we move on. Yeah, check out that rock formation. How cool is that? The glacier, man, the glacier scraping and gouging its way across the landscape. Yep, did just that. Yeah, amazing when you look around and you think there aren't any landscape features here in Connecticut that's more than about 15,000 years old. So there you go. The glacier carved and scraped and built Long Island. So yeah, what used to be Connecticut, that's now Long Island. So there you go, a little bit of glaciology on our walk down the Hop River Trail. This is another special something I really like about rail trails, is those areas where you walk along and you're just perched on the edge of a precipice, sometimes on either side. So one thing we don't really think about and appreciate when we walk on these things is the amount of engineering skill and human labor that had to go into creating a railway across this very variable landscape and maintain no more than a 3-degree grade. So, you know, that takes smart people working hard. And it takes a huge number of people to facilitate that, because you have to dig out and fill in. And back when this was done, you didn't have the heavy equipment that we have to work with today. Ooh, the sun, the sun. Yeah, so down there is Valley Falls. You can hear the river running, and there's a bunch of trails down there. Hiked them a few times. Margaret and I were here just a couple of weeks ago hiking. Worth the visit. We're not going to go off the rail trail because we don't have time, but yeah, it's a worthwhile place to visit. So onward, onward, onward. And here's a delightful little spot, formerly the site of a clubhouse siding. Dun, 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 dun. But not anymore. Now it's just an empty old trail with a very cool little waterfall. There you go. Not something I'd drive to New York to see, but hey, I walked 7 miles. So we're at the northern end of Bolton Knott State Park, and pretty soon we'll be on the East Coast Greenway, which is our path home, which we probably don't have enough light to make. So anyway, on to Bolton Notch. Hello, we've arrived at Bolton Knott State Park, which is a small but cool little state park right off of Highway 384 in Bolton, and it's got this cool little river going by the trail. Ta-da! We are almost to where I get off the Hop River Trail and onto the East Coast Greenway. The Hop River Trail continues for about another 14 miles on to Willimantic, and we will hike that here soon enough. So we will see you on the East Coast Greenway, or maybe up this pond that should be up here on the right. And so we made it to the East Coast Greenway, paved path all the way back home downhill, where I have summited, because the last 7.5 miles have been a gradual 3-degree uphill, which wears on your legs after a bit. Well, now it's about 4 miles back home down this nice paved downhill path, and we'll see if I can make it before I lose the light.